Obviously, Tony, we've been talking about picking an agent, and again, we'll put a graphic up on the screen of some of the key things that you should be asking your agent or thinking about your agent when you actually pick them, because obviously not all agents are the same.
Yeah. The first thing to work out is what it is that you want from your agent. What is it that you want them to sell? What's their local knowledge and track record in terms of sales? Make sure they ask you a lot of questions and that you answer those questions as fully as possible, because that provides them with that information that will allow them to be able to market your property for you in the best possible way. Make sure also that they take time to consider and present to you the various options that they've got for selling the property, and make sure that they're a good communicator. They need to be able to be communicating with you all the information that's being fed back to them from the open inspections and so on.
And I think on the next page, then you've always got to remember that they're actually representing you, aren't they?
That we said that before, that it's important for purchasers to realise and for the sellers to realise that the agent's job is to do the best they possibly can for the seller of the property, and we also touched on them on their skills as a negotiator, and make sure they're good at that. Yeah,
because if they're going to communicate well with you and they're going to be firm but fair and stick to the prices, then the chances are, when they're negotiating for your property and they're doing it in 10,000 increments or 50,000 increments, that's when you want them to be pretty tough.
They need to be tough, but they need to be fair, and they need to be knowledgeable about their local market and the features and value and benefits of being able to sell your particular property.
Yeah. Now, these days, even though you probably can't ask these questions about kind of young or old or male or female or any of those kind of things, does it really matter if someone's really young? Does it matter if someone's really old? Can they still be a good negotiator? So all of these things, we might have these preconceived ideas of who the perfect agent is, but I'm sure they come in all shapes and sizes,
as do properties and as do sellers and as do buyers. Trying to say that a particular look, feel, touch of an agent is going to mean that they're better than somebody else. That perception can be wide of the mark.
Because I remember reading John McGrath's book, and obviously John's pretty kind of famous, especially around kind of New South Wales and probably the rest of Australia now, is he always said when he was pitching for his business when he was very young is, well, look, all these big agents, they're so busy running the big properties, they've got no time for you. Whereas I'm a new agent, I'm young, I'm keen, I've got to make it work, yours is the only listing, and so I'm going to make it work. I've got more of a vested interest in making it work than someone else.
And that pitch, that approach is one that can work very successfully. Whether they're busy or not, sometimes you'll get an agent who'll pitch for the property and they'll do the deal and then they'll hand over to somebody else. That can work, or it might not be as good as it should be.
So again, if it's a busy agent, you say, right, who's actually going to be at the open home? Yep. Who's actually going to be talking to the buyers? Is it you or is it the office junior?
Yep.
Yeah.